YouTube land, Rival here. Thanks for stopping by. As you can see, we've got another review and overview on the turntable for you guys this week. This time around, we are focused on the brand spanking new ZT0609 series. So these were recently, or I should say this one rather, was recently announced at SHOT Show in January. People have been waiting to have these come out. Now they did hit the streets, I want to say like mid-March, maybe towards the end of February, somewhere around there. And then this, like, literally just hit the ground running. So I can give you some experience and feedback based on having carried this one. This one is fresh off the boat, so to speak. But the interesting part is that, you know, there are a few places where you can get them and a few places that just have them on pre-order or they're not available yet. And I wanted to just take a second to discuss that because I know on the forums and on occasion on some of my Instagram posts, people ask where I'm getting my knives. They've had them on pre-order at Blade HQ or at KnifeWorks, and their 609 still isn't even in yet, and some places are already having the sprint runs. You know, I stopped pre-ordering a long time ago, and I just watch the sites. I watch Blade HQ, I watch USA Made Blade, I watch Kershaw Guy. A lot of places that get these things, and whoever gets them in first, or whoever has wind of getting them first, that's where I go and I order when they have them on hand. I don't do those pre-orders. I don't want to get stuck waiting while everybody else has theirs in hand. So that's my thoughts on pre-ordering. As far as the knife itself, a quick overview. You're looking at a 3.4 inch cutting edge. You're looking at 7.5 inches overall. Only 3.4 ounces? 3.3 ounces on this bad boy. So it's a full titanium frame. It's a full flat grind. 20 CV steel on the regular 609. S35 VN on the sprint run on the BLK. It is a full flipper on bearings, and the nice part about this is it's got the STP pivot, the see-through pivot. Hello, there you go. That was originally launched on the 606 Factory Custom. This is exactly what people have been asking for. This is a scaled-down version of that Factory Custom made for production. That particular knife was extremely large. This is extremely reasonably sized. Quite frankly, I think it's deceivingly sized. It is, like I said, a 3.4 inch cutting edge, but the overall package is closer to that of the 450 CF. So if I put these guys pretty close together, line them up about pivot to pivot, pretty close. I mean, you can see I'm only over just a hair on both sides of that. But you get so much more cutting edge. You get a full 3.4 inches of cutting edge. You get nearly as much cutting edge as you do on this guy. But again, whoop, let me get these guys butt to butt. You're doing so, whoop, while saving a little bit of space, but you're really saving weight. This guy's nearly 5 ounces. This guy's 3.4 ounces. So you're saving a ton of weight. You've got this beautiful 3D milling, the patterning on the blade. It's not super grippy, but it's not super slippy, so I think it's a nice, happy medium. And then on the original, you've got the polished see-through pivot. You've got polished, I guess you'd say, hardware, and then you've got the stonewash flats with satin grinds. On the sprint run, your full black DLC. I mean, this bad boy is murdered out. You've got that new style pocket clip on both of them, DLC coated on this one, just steel on that one. See-through pivot. You can see through it. So ergonomically, these things are pretty damn fantastic. Front two fingers slip right in there, back two fingers slip right in without falling off the edge. Whereas, you know, on this guy here, I'm getting a lot of reflection. Let me close this guy, sorry. Whereas on this guy, you know, you get your front three and then your back is on the butt. So ergonomically, I mean, these things are fantastic. They've got some funky new jimping, kind of like a dragon scale or dragon spine jimping on both the blade and the frame, which definitely helps you lock in. On the glove, it locks in a lot better than without the glove. The action on both of these is pretty insane. I mean, it's very snappy. You can light switch it. You can push button it. You're gonna hurt your finger push. Ow! You're gonna hurt your finger push button it though. It's pretty tight, but it's not overly tight. Personally, there's maybe 2 years ago when they were kind of launching the horsepower idea. The detents got pretty snappy and pretty tight. They backed off just a little bit, but still found a way to tune in a great action on that. As far as the steel and the price goes, on the DLC, you've got the S35 VN as opposed to the 20 CV on this guy. I've heard pros and cons go either way. Personally, on a user, S35 VN is going to be great. Full DLC is always something that I personally like. And it saves you a few extra bucks on the blade as well. I think this guy was in like the 220, 230 range, and this guy was like 210 or something like that. So all in all, it's pretty much a wash. These are going to be regular production. These are going to be limited production. So if you can find them and you're interested in it, definitely get it. The bronze anno on here looks pretty good. It is one of my favorite areas of the bronze spectrum. It's right at the high end of the bronze spectrum, so it's a lot deeper and darker than it looks in this light. I can assure you of that. And as your hands kind of fondle it and you get a little bit of oil on it here and there, you get some different color effects, which is pretty sweet as well. So being full tie, once the pivot tool comes out, you could probably make something, but that's a pain in the ass. Once the pivot tool comes out, which is going to be like 10 or 20 bucks, I forget which, disassemble these bad boys, and we can do a whole heck of a lot with this. Change it up in color, change it to blue, change it to green, change it to purple, whatever you want to do, maybe even some two-tones or something like that, where you've got one color down the middle and another color on the side. Oh wait, that's what they did on the factory customs. So yeah, I mean, you could really do this up similar to those factory customs too if you got one at home, want to match it up. Let us see. You've got some pillar construction, so you've got nice flow through. Now it's not milled out on the inside, but the 3D milling is extensive enough to the point where, again, that 3.4 ounces is not obtrusive at all. I mean, you can wear this in your basketball shorts, and it's not drooping down, it's not pulling things down, so that's pretty fantastic in my opinion. The new slimline clips, I personally like these, as opposed to some of the bigger clips like the Hinderer clips or something like that. It's not deep carry, but it does have a nice slim and slender profile, and it's right at the top of the knife. So as far as what's sticking out of your pocket, I mean, you've only got that sticking out of your pocket, and quite frankly, those two little buttons or the cap screws, the heads of the cap screws, gives you something to kind of pull on and purchase as you are pulling it out of the pocket. So I actually like that part of the design as well. Cons, I mean, if you're not a big fan of the Bowie, that big swooping Bowie shaped blade, I could definitely see that as a con. I'm not normally an R.J. Martin guy. I mean, I definitely respect what he does. I like some of his designs, others not so much. But this particular design, I am very much enamored with. I like I said, have been carrying it for about 3 weeks now. It is extremely comfortable. It has nearly kicked this guy out of my pocket, which is one of my go-to everyday carries. I mean, this knife is just so easy and convenient and comfortable to put in your pocket, and it weighs practically nothing. It's just the easiest choice you could make. But this is really, really close up there. Plus, it's got that 3.4-inch blade. I mean, you've got nearly a full-size blade on basically a compact frame. So, I mean, it's all the pleasures of the big boy with that nice compact size. I definitely highly recommend them if you're looking at them, if you've been toying around with the idea, if you're putting it up against other blades, as far as what you're getting for the price point. I think the value is extremely high up there. That's what we've got on the Turntable for you this week. We got some more reviews and some more blades coming up in the future, so like and subscribe. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.